Hello, hi everybody. Paul here at the War HQ, where we have a passion for painting. And today we're going to be using contrast paints, very similar to speed paints. It's a paint you use like a wash, so have a look to my guide for washing. We'll put a link up somewhere around here so you can find it. And it's a very quick, easy way to get models on the board very fast. And we're going to take you through painting up a little World War II American soldier. This one's from Warlord Games. And it's, as I say, a nice, easy, quick way to get models on the board very quick, especially when you're just starting out to paint. Please like and subscribe or comment. Tell us if you like it, tell us if you don't. What would you do different? I'm interested to hear from all of you. So let's get on with the painting. So hopefully this is what we're going to end up with once we've used our contrast paints. Hopefully the colours are coming out for you. Now we're going to use contrast paints, as I say. So we've got Citadel Contrast. We're going to use this range of paints, but there are other paints around. You could use Army Painter's Speed Paint, but for this one we're going to use the Citadel Colour Contrast paint from Games Workshop. We're going to start off on this little guy here, and we're going to use different models as we go along just because it's a wee bit quicker, but all the stages are exactly the same. Very quick and easy. You do need to be a little bit accurate with your painting, so have a look, see where my fingers are touching to steady my hand when we're painting these. First colour we're going to use here is Contrast Agaros Dunes, and we're going to use that on the trousers on this model. I've given the contrast paint a good shake, and then taking a Wargamer monster brush, we're just going to load it up, and let's get it closer. We'll just start layering it on. We want to be fairly accurate with this. We don't want it bleeding over too much. So just get right in, and as I say, just be a wee bit careful. I'm resting my hand against the edge of my desk here, so just in case there's a little bit of camera shake. So we want to be fairly generous, but we want to be quite accurate. And we'll just layer it on, very much like a wash if you've been using washes. And we want it to go in all the cracks and crevices. And just be a little bit generous. As I say, try not to splash over onto any other bits where you don't want the colour, or we'll need to tidy it up a wee bit with some of the same sort of base colour paint that we've used to undercoat. And this one I've undercoated it grey. I think I'm using a Halfords, that's a UK brand for cars. And we're going to let that dry now, and when we come back we're going to do another couple of layers of this to darken it down a bit. So I'm not going to show you that. I'm going to put a couple of layers on, and then we'll come back and carry on. So after 3 layers, it's looking fairly dark, a bit like this, which is quite nice. And the next colour we're going to use is Militarum Green. We're going to do the jacket in Militarum Green, and I'm also going to do the helmet in this case in Militarum Green. So we're going to give it a good shake, and then I'm going to open it up, and I've switched down to a smaller brush. Come on, focus, there we go. It's going to be a Wargamer character brush from Army Painter, a little bit narrower because I need to be a little bit more accurate this time. I've loaded up my brush quite generously, and we're just going to start applying that. Quite a nice dark green colour there. I'm going to come back in. I'm actually going to do his wee tie and shirt back in the same colour as we did the trousers in a moment. But we're going to carry on applying that. Again, be quite careful. If you run the colour over to somewhere you don't want it, you're going to have to come back and clean it up a little bit. But we'll get this jacket sorted, and then we'll carry on. Now just down here, I've covered his shoulder strap with the green. I didn't really want to do that. So we're going to take a little bit of the base color gray, or as close as I can get. We're just going to touch that up. There we go, we're going to continue like that. And any other place where I've maybe let the colour run over, I'm just going to touch it up so that we're ready for the next colour. So now we've tidied that up, I am going to use Contrast Skeleton Horde, and that's going to be on the webbing, the backpack and the gaiters down below. Again, still using the Wargamer character brush because we need to be a little bit more detailed, and this is going to go round the belt and everything. I've shaken up the snakebite leather, not snakebite leather, it's Skeleton Horde colour, and we're now going to apply that to the backpack starting off, and anything like the packs around the side here, and we're going to apply it to the gaiters down here. So anywhere where it would be sort of the webbing colour, we're going to apply that quite generously, and I'll come back and we'll show you what that looks like in a moment. Now that colour's applied, you can see we've done the gaiters anywhere where the webbing is, and that's looking reasonably good now. So next thing we are going to do is the rifle. Now I've got the rifle done, but I actually like it to be a slightly darker colour. So we are going to use Sigor Brown, and I'm going to go over the rifle, make it a little bit darker. So we'll come back and let you have a look at that once I've done that. I've darkened the rifle off, like I said, and it's starting to come together. Soon be finished, and let's move on to the next stage. Time to move on to painting the black gunmetal here. So for this we're going to use Basilicanum Grey, giving it a good shake, and then we'll start applying the paint. Got the brush loaded. Again, I want to be quite accurate, so I'm just going in nice and gently. And we're going to fill out any parts which we want to be dark, and applying a nice generous coat. So once we've done that stage, we'll come back and let you have another look before we go on to the next stage. Now that's done, we're waiting that to dry. We're going to go ahead and do the flesh. Now for the flesh, I'm going to do a base coat here of barbarian flesh, but you can do any flesh colour before we apply the speed paint. So again, just still using the character brush that I've been using. I'm just going to apply a real base coat layer of this all around the flesh parts of the miniature. And once we've done this, we'll come back and show you the next stage of doing the flesh. Base layer done for the flesh. We're now going to do the contrast paint over the top of it, and that's Guilliman flesh. I'm just going to I'll place a layer of that over the top just to give us a little bit of contrast as the paint would do. So load our brush, maybe a bit much there we go, and we're just going to spread that over, and that's going to give us the shadows and add a little bit of detail to the flesh, just spreading it all over. And once we've got that all completed and finished off, we'll come back and show you how it's looking. Now that all the flesh has been done, you can see how we're looking. And it's looking tabletop ready, good enough to get on there. And if we're just new to painting, this would be quite a nice wee job. All I've done is finished off the helmet with a little bit of army green, and our troops are now all ready to go. And it's not taking us that long to paint them. You do need to be a little bit careful, as I say, but hopefully that's helped you along to getting some miniatures on the table and ready to play. So please like and subscribe, please comment, love to hear from you all. Let me know what I'm not doing right. Please let me know what I'm doing right. There might be some things I'm doing good. And remember to comment, like, subscribe to keep up with anything that's going on at the War HQ now. Take care, guys. Talk to you again soon.